The doctor that gave the procedure to deliver the baby, he handed me the baby and he looked at me. He said, "Are you sure this baby's yours?" And I looked at the doctor. I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Because this baby's white." I'm looking at him like, "What do you mean this baby's white?" This is a picture of Ileana when she was first born. And when the doctor made that comment.
After she got pregnant, a letter she sent them. Her ex that she was dealing with had contacted me on Facebook. He was basically saying like, "Yo, Bryant, Jasmine, does she have you on child support and stuff like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, she does. She's been having me on child support." He was like, "Well, that's crazy because I'm taking care of her too." So it's like...
This case kicks off like a soap opera with yelling under the surface. Mr. Portis says he's not the dad, and child support is ruining his life. Ms. Middlebrooks is like, "Yes, you are," and court gets messy fast.
Mr. Portis, you and your mother have petitioned the court for a DNA test because you are certain you are not the father of the defendant's daughter, Ava.
Correct.
You say your life has been ruined and need today's paternity results to set the record straight.
DNA tests. No one showed up when they were supposed to. Portis missed court, so boom, he's stuck paying. Jasmine missed too, and now everyone's confused.
Don't you have to get a DNA before you can be put on child support?
We went
You
together.
didn't show up to court twice.
It was once.
You paying child support for this baby?
Yes. Thousands of dollars.
But you say you've never had a DNA test?
No.
And that's because you had a court date.
And he missed.
So you were named
And
the
they
father by
established
default.
paternity. Yeah.
Yep.
That's how it works.
True.
Portis says they weren't together when she got pregnant. Jasmine says they were still a thing. Then Facebook exposed a secret boyfriend. Oops.
But when she got pregnant, we stopped talking. We weren't talking at the time that she got pregnant. Like, she had hit me up and was like, "Hey, I'm pregnant and be prepared
so wait,
for child
we were
support
definitely
and all this
together.
other
We were
stuff."
definitely together.
No,
I text.
no, we weren't, because I found out that she had another boyfriend. Because I looked on her Facebook and I seen her with this dude. And I'm like, "Who is this?" And then she like, "Somebody I used to talk to."
Jasmine wrote a letter to her ex after getting pregnant. She says it was just friendly. Portis isn't buying it. Judge Lake gives them both the serious look.
After she got pregnant, a letter she sent them.
Wait a minute.
I sent the guy a letter telling him that I was pregnant, letting him know what was going on.
This is exactly why young people don't have no business making babies. You can't even tell the story to make no sense. Miss Middlebrooks, what was your relationship with this other guy?
We were dating.
Portis's mom jumps in and the yelling begins. Everyone's shouting like it's a family BBQ gone wrong. Judge Lake has to shut it all down.
They're a relationship. I mean, when were they?
Did I have intercourse with you?
Relationship?
Were I with you? No, I didn't think so. Wasn't nobody talking to you.
As a
So,
grown woman,
Hold
you
on,
stop
ladies.
disrespecting my mom.
Ladies, Mr. Portis, tell me how you found out Miss Middlebrooks was pregnant.
She had told me.
What was your response?
I didn't really believe her at first.
Jasmine's ex messaged Portis on Facebook. Turns out he's been helping out too. Now Portis is like, "What am I even paying for?"
Her ex that she was dealing with had contacted me on Facebook. He was basically saying like, "Yo, Bryant, Jasmine, does she have you on child support and stuff like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, she does. She's been having me on child support." He was like, "Well, that's crazy because I'm taking care of her too." So it's like, just like an imbalance
Okay.
here.
Even Jasmine's aunt says she first said the ex was the dad. Jasmine says that's not true. Portis remembers her telling him to leave. This is a whole mess.
yes.
Who did she tell you the father was?
At the time, the only person I knew was the ex.
Who did she say the father was?
She said the ex.
I already
But
knew
it's my
that.
son.
I said the ex.
But I thought it was my
Fine.
son all
No,
along.
hold on. I could tell by the way you were telling that story that you were trying to be evasive about something.
But
Jasmine says Portis is all over the place. He didn't know missing court made him the legal dad. Judge Lake gives a quick law lesson.
That came later on down the line when she was 1. So
You
they
did
found
the
out
child
much.
support a year later.
Yeah, they found out much before that he was the dad.
At some point, you came clean.
Yes, not even long after that.
So did you let your ex raise the baby? Ava's too. Is he like he was at the hospital? You let him raise her?
Yes.
Portis has only seen his kid 4 times. His mom hasn't seen her at all. The judge says, "Y'all need to fix this."
So this child you've been paying child support for.
Only seen her 4 times in my life.
And I've never seen the baby. But I'm supposed to step up and be a grandmother.
I didn't ask you to step up. I want Brian to
You
do the DNA test.
messaged my phone talking about
What-
well,
what
you're,
do I
you're
need
some
you
type
to
of
step
grandma
up
and
for?
this and that
What
and
do
the
I
other.
need- yes,
How can I
because
be a
you're not
grandmother
encouraging
to a
him to get the
baby
DNA
I've never
test
even.
done.
I did.
Not continue to-
You backed out.
I did.
You
to
didn't
encourage
encourage
my
You
son.
backed out.
Even if Portis isn't the real dad, he still has to pay. It's too late to fight it. He says he's learning the hard way.
There's still a very real possibility you're Ava's father.
Yes.
And if you're not, you may not be able to get yourself off child support because you may have waited too long. And the court will follow what is in the best interest of the child. Sometimes we have to learn lessons the hard way.
You're right, Your Honor.
Judge opens the envelope with everyone holding their breath. Surprise.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Portis, you are the father.
Starts off like a Lego to the foot, pure pain. Mr. Pace is crying over Prince, thinking he's the dad. Plot twist. His girl may be hooked up with his best bud.
Mr. Pace, you say you will be crushed today if DNA results reveal you are not biological father of your son. You maintain that the defendant betrayed you by cheating with Prince's second possible father, your best friend.
Yes, Your Honor.
They met because of short shorts and fast moves. She moves in with him and his BFF, then finds out she's pregnant. Mr. Pace thinks he's the dad, and they move out together.
Well, we met while I was actually driving. It was a hot day. She had on short shorts. I'm a leg man.
Okay.
I had a conversation. I ended up getting her phone number. We went out on a few dates. We kind of bonded real quick. She ended up moving in with me and Mr. Randolph. Shortly after her moving in, she became pregnant.
Drama time. She felt lonely, had one drunk night, and oops, ended up with Mr. Randolph. Says it was a one-time thing. But guess how Mr. Pace found out?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a love triangle because the situation with me and Randolph only happened once. Upon me being in the house with Byron, the thing is, he works at night. I kind of took that as a feeling of neglect. The situation with me and Randolph was a mistake I think I ever made because I've never intentionally set out to hurt Byron.
Big fight, she drops the baby bomb. Maybe your best friend's the dad. Randolph confirms it. Mr. Pace keeps cool and asks for a DNA test.
We were actually in a heated argument at the time that it occurred, but it kind of just got blurted out to me that Mr. Randolph could be a potential father for Prince.
And just out of the blue, she yells, and by the way, your best friend could be Prince's father?
Correct.
Randolph's excuse? Drunk and dumb. Doesn't even know if protection was used. Mr. Pace is left dealing with hot garbage nachos level of nonsense.
I wasn't in the right state of mind. We both was intoxicated. He was out promoting clubs. She used to come home from the club intoxicated, looking for him. He's not there. Me and her talk.
And so was this sex unprotected?
Honestly, Your Honor, I was intoxicated and I really don't recall.
Now it's the whose nose is it games. Miss Fobbs kept the secret for years, scared to tell. Heavy stuff, but Mr. Pace has always been the dad figure.
Yeah, he looks like Byron more than he looks like Randolph.
I see my nose a little, as well as maybe my upper lip a tad bit. The nose kind of flares out like mine.
Was it a secret you were holding and during the argument you just had to let it out?
Yeah.
Mr. Pace feels torn seeing them both daily. Miss Fobbs wants to fix everything and stay a family. She's hoping love wins over betrayal.
Well, it's been difficult. I love her, but it's just been difficult when you're caught between two people that you care about. Well, but you still have doubts. Like I say, I see this man on a daily basis as well as I see her on a daily basis. So when you have a small thought in the back of your head that this may have occurred and you don't have the initial proof to find out that it's not true.
Boom, DNA test says.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Pace, you are not his father.
This whole thing started like a cartoon fight with big drama. Mr. Kidd says he got tricked into being a dad, and Ms. Rawlings says nope, he can't even have babies. And just like that, we're off to the races.
You say Ms. Rawlings is a manipulative user who convinced you that you were the father of her son, Nathaniel, then changed her mind when someone better came along. You and your mother say Ms. Rawlings' mind games have wreaked emotional havoc on your family, and you are 100% positive you are her son's father.
This love story is more like a messy sandwich. She was with Kidd, then another guy, back and forth like a seesaw. Sounds like a baby mystery was already cooking.
How it happened was we met through a mutual friend. I didn't know anything about Mr. Kidd starting off. My mutual friend ended up leaving, and the situation that I was in, I didn't have anywhere to go. Everything progressed and everything started off. Somehow another female came into the picture, and I went off and did my own thing and was dealing with him and another gentleman also.
Now we're talking about blood and science, and maybe magic. She says Kidd told her a baby with him would be danger zone, but his mom says that's not how blood works.
When I found out I was pregnant, Mr. Kidd told me himself that he has some type of rare form blood disease and that me and his child would die if I was pregnant by him.
It's not a rare blood disease. I am ARH negative and he is ARH negative. If she's RH positive and doesn't get the necessity shot during the pregnancy, it could prevent her from having future children or that child could pass away.
Grandma saw a baby pic and went full detective mode. She was like, "That's my baby," even though it wasn't hers yet. Then she met him and fell in love instantly.
I got a phone call from my daughter, and she said, "Mom, you need to look at this picture." She sent me a picture of the baby. I was like, "Who got my son's baby pictures?" She said, "That's not your son." I said, "Yes, that is. I gave birth to him. I know who he is." So I contacted his friend who gave me Miss Rawlings' number. I called her and asked, we talked for a couple weeks, and I asked if I could see the baby, and she said yes.
They pulled out old pics like it was a baby twin contest. Grandma swore he had her lips, and everyone laughed. The judge was like, this is getting good.
And when you look at these pictures, what do you see?
My son.
Your son on the left, and that's Nathaniel on the right. And you really believe, as you look at those pictures, that's your grandson. And as we take a look at the second picture, kid is a teen, and Nathaniel.
Oh, he has my lips.
You think they look exactly alike, minus your lips, those are your lips.
He's got my lips.
Even if she thought kid wasn't the dad, she let his mom visit. She wanted the baby to have family love. That made the courtroom all soft and mushy.
Me being me as a mother, and I wasn't able to grow up with my father. If Mr. Kid can't see the moments that he's missing, at least his mom will be able to have them, and his family has some sort of...
Here at the defendant podium, you say you know Mr. Kid is not your child's biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
Grandma says she was never told, "No, you're not grandma." They shared baby pics and stories like a real fam. But now the other guy is sneaking into the story.
I've never one time been told I wasn't the grandmother. She did not ever say. She said it's a possibility between this one guy and my son. And as I sent her picture, she's like, "Yes, I believe it's Kevin."
Did the other guy, the other potential father, did he ever acknowledge that he could be the father or express interest in being in Nathaniel's life?
Yes, he did, because he was the one that actually told me to get a test.
The other dude showed up at the hospital like it was his baby. His whole family thought so too, but no one signed the baby papers.
The other guy actually came to the hospital after I gave birth to Nathaniel, and they instantly, you seen it in his face and in Nathaniel's face, his face.
The other guy?
Yes, because he...
Did he sign the birth certificate?
No, because I didn't have my ID with me at the time.
So there's no one listed as father on Nathaniel's birth certificate?
No, you're not.
Grandma got baby duty for a whole month. Mom wrote a note like, "Here, you watch him, I gotta work." Judge read it like it was from a movie.
She gave me the baby for a period of time with a
How long?
I had him for a month and a couple days. I got a handwritten letter of custody.
Because of the fact that I had got a job that was paying $10 an hour, and I didn't have anybody to watch him. At the same time, trying to figure out who's gonna watch my child and me not.
A real doctor came in to clear up the baby-making mystery. She said kid might have had a sick thing as a kid, but it doesn't mean he can't be a dad. Boom, science drop.
So I think there's two separate issues here. There was an issue about Rh blood incompatibility.
Yes.
And that has to do with a mother and a baby. And if there's different blood types between the father of the baby, positive and negative. He had a separate issue, which was a childhood infection, repeated urinary tract infections to STIs like gonorrhea and chlamydia. Those can cause inflammation in the testicles.
Judge read the test and boom.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Kidd, you are the father.
This whole thing kicks off wild. Judge says it's Beto v. Bolton, and Ms. Beto's mad over a DNA test. She says it ruined everything, and we just getting started.
Ms. Beto, you say you were furious when the defendant asked you for a DNA test on your 7-month-old daughter, Ileana. Now you claim that request has broken up your happy home.
Bolton been here before and found out he wasn't the dad. He was hurt, but moved on. Now here again. Baby drama seems to follow this guy.
Mr. Bolton, you are not his father. Mr. Bolton, so what has happened since you were last here?
Since last time I was in court, I was very devastated to find out the news about the young boy not being mine. When the baby was born, I cut the umbilical cord, the doctors wiped the baby off, and they gave Miss Beto the baby.
Doctor handed him the baby and said, "You sure this one's yours?" Like, bruh. What? Bolton been shook ever since.
The doctor that gave the procedure to deliver the baby, he handed me the baby and he looked at me. He said, "Are you sure this baby's yours?" And I looked at the doctor. I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Because this baby's white." I'm looking at him like, "What do you mean this baby's white?" This is a picture of Ileana when she was first born. And when the doctor made that comment,
she said her family got all types of skin and eye colors. Basically, don't judge the baby by her shade. But Bolton still got questioned.
We're mixed.
I'm Dominican and black. People in my family have different color eyes. My eyes are hazel. My father's eyes are green. He told me that when he was a young boy, when he was a baby, as a matter of fact, his eyes were blue and then they turned green because people continuously said, oh, she's white. Oh my God, she's so white.
When the doctor asks you,
Look,
before congratulations,
People keep saying, she too light to be yours. Even the boss and grocery folks asked him. The man's whole life turned into a guessing game.
Your Honor, maybe 2 weeks when Eliana came home, the same boss that we both work for him, he came to the house and brought a stroller to the home as a gift. And he's from Alabama, he's country guy, But he looked at the baby, he's like, Rico, this baby yours? I look at him like, what you mean? He says, this baby's whack.
Beto says, yeah, she slept with someone else. But it was after Bolton cheated first. Still, now things messy.
have you slept with anybody else?
We actually broke up last year around August, and it was due to infidelity on his behalf.
Before, I got a couple buddies I hang out with. They do things on the side.
Your Honor,
Now,
I saw
my
the texts
association
from the
being with
females.
that point where I should cheat just to make you happy. Because this is what you're doing. You
That
put
was
pressure
your
on me.
logic?
They tried getting back together, but then, bam, text from the other guy. Plus baby pics that looked a little too familiar. Bolton's radar going off.
When she came back together, we got together. We moved back in the same house together. But in the midst of this, she's still going out there to her family's house. Middle of the night, I pick up the phone. Text messages from this guy. So I have reason to believe, like, okay, you tell me you start messing with him, I still think that you're still with him.
He saw text messages
even-
from the guy. He never saw me respond.
He shows pics like he's on a baby detective show. Says both babies look like twins. Everybody's confused now.
His daughter looks like my daughter.
But how often is it that babies can look alike?
I just want to show you this evidence right here.
But I don't think she looks like the other man's baby.
Okay, that's Eliana, and that's me. Eliana's pink, Caucasian, white, and you see me.
Really?
I'm brown, no blue eye. The only thing I see is a nose.
If he felt like that, Your Honor, why stay for 7 months?
He's like, no baby in 5 years, then boom. Baby right after breakup? The math ain't mathing for him. Dude is suspicious.
When she left, her and this other guy was messing around. When she came back around, we was living together. I feel like, maybe she's still been messing with this guy. Because all of a sudden, like she said, we've been together 5 years. It's the first time she ever got pregnant. She's coming back around, boom, baby. Like, what's going on?
They play a cute baby video. He looks like a proud papa, but doubt's still creeping in.
You even submitted a video. It really shows how committed he is to her.
Say hello. Bye-bye. See y'all later. I love Eliana.
Judge drops the truth.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Bolton, you are her father.
But what I tell you?
This whole thing starts off super deep, like sad right away. Ms. Walker wants to know if her son's baby is really her grandson. She's got love to give, but needs the truth first.
Ms. Walker, you say before your son Delonte's tragic death, he had doubts that he had fathered the defendant's 1-year-old son, Delonte Royal. You claim you need today's DNA results so you can embrace this child as your grandson.
Here's where the drama drops. Text messages from another guy. Delonte saw them and got real suspicious. That's when he started doubting the baby was his.
He seen text messages between her and a guy around the time when she conceived. He had doubts. One morning, I overhear them arguing. They got the puppy love going on. I hear them arguing. I didn't think nothing of it. So it got louder than usual. So I go in there, I'm like, what's going on? Mom, she's H, she's this, she's that. 3 months pregnant at this time.
At first, everybody was happy like it was a baby party. They even called the mom Ladybug, which is kind of cute. Nobody expected drama was coming soon.
The moment we found out we was pregnant, he told me before that I was pregnant even before. We got to the place, he was excited, she was excited.
When they told me, my son came to me, he said, Mom, what if I tell you that I got a baby on the way? With who? Ladybug. I'm like, okay. So I immediately get on the phone with her. We're gonna go take a test today. We went and took the test, came back positive. We all were happy.
Delonte said he was cool about the baby, then secretly told his mom he wasn't sure. He didn't want to ruin the mood at the hospital, but inside, he still needed answers.
The day of the birth, we're all in there, we're all happy. It was her, kissed the baby on the forehead and everything. She asked him, she said, Delonte, do you wanna, when she asked him, did he want a DNA test? He looked around, seen her family members, he told her, but then later on that day, he looked at me and Mom said yes. I need a DNA test.
Oh.
Turns out he didn't sign the papers because he didn't have his ID, but his mom thinks he just didn't want to. So now we're all like, what's really up?
Why he didn't sign a birth certificate, Your Honor?
He didn't sign it because he didn't have his ID. When we kept telling him he was being irresponsible, that was not my fault. He even got his dad's first name and middle name. Would have gave him his last name, but he did not have that ID. So that was not my fault. I believe it.
You just thought he was being irresponsible and he just forgot it. It was so much going on.
Yes.
3 weeks later, Delonte passed away. Ms. Walker held on tight to the baby and mom, but that old doubt didn't go away.
So how soon after baby Delonte was born did your son unfortunately pass away?
3 weeks.
Oh.
I drone to him and Ladybug, because that's all I had left, you know. He was my oldest child, you know, but he was still my baby. So I needed that comfort.
Even with love in her heart, Ms. Walker couldn't shake the doubt. She started remembering all the stuff her son said. Ms. Royal was like, no way, he loved that baby.
I think time, me dealing with my son's death, and then me remembering his doubt. Because I blocked it out, you know, because I was dealing with my son's death. The doubt came back.
When she said they had doubts, I never knew. Like, cause, you know, I kept asking for the DNA test. I had no problem with me. He always say, my boy, my boy.
Boom, DNA test says.
The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Monique Walker and Delonte Royal is 99.99%. You are related.
This case starts like a mess from the jump. Ms. Nesbitt says Mr. Henderson is the dad, but he's like, nah, probably the neighbors. And boom, the baby drama begins.
You are suing to prove to Mr. Henderson that he is the father of your 7-month-old daughter, Zion. Say that when the results prove you right, you expect Mr. Henderson to step up. Mr. Henderson, you claim your case is simple. You say Ms. Nesbitt cheated on you with her neighbor during the window of conception, and he is Zion's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Dude signed the birth certificate without her knowing. She told him not to, but he snuck down like a secret spy and did it anyway. Now he's all confused about being the dad.
You know that's your child. You've been knowing from the beginning. You signed the birth certificate. You know the baby yours.
Yes, I did because
He did what?
I went downstairs to go get my birth certificate and his name was on there. I told him not to put his name on there because I had doubts from the beginning, but he snuck anyways and signed his name on there.
You had asked him previously not to sign it because you had doubts yourself.
Judge Lake's like, bro, you signed it. You're the dad. Mr. Henderson acts like it was just a maybe sign, but this ain't Netflix, it's real life.
When you sign a birth certificate at a hospital, you are acknowledging paternity legally. So when you signed your name, you said, I'm the father, I'm responsible, I'm gonna take care of this child.
Yes, Your Honor.
So why are you not taking care of the child and only bought some diapers?
She talking about the baby's not mine, Your Honor. I can't be no man that's taking care of another man's baby.
She got mad and yelled the baby might be the neighbor's. He looked shocked, but wait, there's more crazy coming.
Because she kept coming to me like, this not your baby, LaDon. Like, I came in the house one night drunk because I came in late, but I come in, she get the argument, oh, she's not yours, that's why she's not your baby. She could be Mr.
Ms.
Brown.
Ness, did you say that?
Yes, Your Honor. I did it out of angry. I was really angry
She
when
said
I
it
said
several times, Your Honor. Several times.
She says he slept with his cousin and now she's hurt. He goes, that was before you. Like, that helps. This whole thing's wild.
He had sex with his cousin, and I felt very vulnerable about it.
Yes, I did, but that was before her. She already knew about that.
You know, I received the inbox telling me she said that she had sex with my little black car and they had a baby. And I felt very astounded about it. So, I felt...
She told you before that when you were sitting in the car with your friend.
You got her
Yes,
pregnant.
it is. It's true, Your Honor.
She got in a fight with Mr. Henderson, and the neighbor slid in to give her a massage. That massage turned into a whole situation. She got in a fight with Mr. Henderson, and the neighbor slid in to give her a massage. That massage turned into a whole situation. 2 weeks later, baby on the way.
Well, me and Mr. Henderson, we got into an argument, and it led in my apartment hallway, and Mr. Brown seen, so he came to my door, he comforted me, and it led off to him coming in, giving me a massage, and led off to me, yes, one night, and 2 weeks later, I ended up pregnant, and I told Mr. Henderson.
She also say I had slept with Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, she did?
She told me she used the condom, Your Honor.
Neighbor Mr. Brown shows up like, yeah, we did it once. He says they kept texting using fake names like Nancy. This just keeps getting messier.
I first met her, she had moved to my apartment, been a couple doors down. I used to always flirt with her, to blink her eye at her, you know what I'm saying? Because she was a cute girl, you know?
But you did have a sexual encounter with her.
Yeah, one time.
It was just like birthday sex, that was about it.
It wasn't more that she used to always hit me up and text me and all that stuff. I used to for names like
it was
this
just
Tracy,
one time.
Nancy.
Your Honor, she's telling me that it was more than one.
He says they used protection, but maybe it busted. Then he's like, she said the baby's not mine. Sir, pick a story.
You only had sex the one time?
Just that one night on her birthday when her and him
and the
got into
protection
it.
broke.
I don't remember protection broke. I was buzzing a little bit, but I don't remember no protection broke. You know what I'm saying? Reminds you, I just came near the comforter that one night because them two had got into it. So I had went down there comforter one night, gave her a little massage places, and you know what happened after that.
Now all of them are just yelling and bringing up Facebook posts. Nobody knows anything for sure. Judge Lake got to clean this mess up.
And then when they get into it, you know what I'm saying, she write little things on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? And then when I hit her up, as soon as I get on the phone with her, I'll see her put something on Facebook and it'll be about me.
So you think she's trying to maintain contact with you, stay close to you because there's a potential you may be the child's father?
Face it, that you are the father. He looks just like
I'm not about to step up to the plate if you keep telling me it's Mr. Brown's child.
Big moment.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Brown, you are not her father.
Oh!